Today's the day.
All right, let's see who is on this cast. Holy shit, is that Rob Sesternino? That's crazy. Oh my god. They got Amanda Kimmel back. How is that even possible? Sean Rector? I mean, we've been wanting him for like 22 years at this point. This is incredible. Holy shit, is that me? Oh my god, I'm on Survivor 50? That's crazy. Today's the day. Okay. Alright, let's see what this fucking epic season of Survivor is gonna be like. Oh wow. Joe. Holy shit, is that... Oh my god, don't tell me, is that... Rizzo?
My name is Rizzo, but I go by the man, the myth, the legend, R-I-Z-G-O-D, Rizgod, baby.
Oh my fucking god, Ozzy's back again. I wonder what he's gonna do this time. This is not a dream. This is a nightmare.
About a year ago, famed host and short king Jeff Probst announced that season 50 would be an all-returnee cast.
Survivor 50 will be returning players, and you all are a part of it. All right.
It was 12 long months and the average of one mediocre season before we found out who was going to be on this all-returnee cast. Before then, of course, there were rumors. Rumors that were brought up, shot down, and then brought up again. People trolled.
There's been a lot of talk about Survivor Season 50, and I get messages every day. People ask me, am I going to go on Season 50? What business do I have going on Season 50? Why do I need to go back a fourth time?
People denied.
No, I'm not doing Survivor. That is funny, though.
People teased.
I cannot believe after we played Australian Survivor that you're about to go back and play again.
Wait, for what? Tell me.
Are you going again?
I don't know, maybe?
It was true chaos. And the minds of us fans were truly being fucked with. What was real?
Would you play 50? I've learned that you don't say no.
What was fake?
Can I announce this also? That usually we say, okay, Steven, we'll see you in the fall. If we get some Survivor 50 news, you'll be hearing from Steven Fishback again sometime next week.
Who was really gonna be?
I told CBS for years, for the last 10 years, bring me back.
On this monumental season. It wasn't until about a week before the official cast was released that a supposed leaked cast was posted online. Although it had some people we've been wanting to see and some people that we thought were definite locks, it also had some questionable choices. This list right here, this couldn't be real. This has to be a troll. Maybe they got it wrong. You never know the accuracy of these kind of things. To sum it up, I think everyone secretly knew it was true but was going through hardcore denial. Justified denial as well. Omissions of people like Jerry Manthe, Rob Sesternino, and Amanda Kimmel would be super disappointing. Unfortunately, our expected disappointments turned out to be true. About 2 weeks ago, as of recording this, Jeff did announce the cast of Survivor 50, and as of recording this now, they are out there playing on the island as we speak. And it was definitely a cast. There's a lot that befuddles me about the cast of Survivor 50, but I do think that there is some good within it. About a year ago from now, I did make my dream cast for Survivor 50 when Jeff announced that it would be all returnees. I would say by now I would probably rescind a lot of my decisions for that cast because my opinions on the show have changed over time. And if I'm being completely honest, I was kind of just mimicking what other people's lists were. For one, I was new to Survivor Survivor, and I didn't really know what my taste was in terms of like players and what I wanted to see. And also I was really scared to kind of face backlash, especially being like a newer content creator about Survivor. Let's go over the cast of Survivor 50, and I'll give my thoughts and opinions about each person on the cast. Jenna Lewis. This is kind of unexpected, but I am actually quite excited to see Jenna Lewis come back. I know her best for voting out the winners in All-Stars and having that like anti-winner sentiment. So if she can bring that kind of gameplay to 50, I really do think that she could actually do pretty good. She's one of the few people from season 1 where I kind of see them as like an actual game player instead of just like a random person. And I feel like she might have potential growth, especially coming back after such a long time. Obviously, she's not like the most immediate pick from season 1. That would be Greg, but I am still pretty happy with Jenna coming back overall. I have mixed feelings about Colby and also not a lot to say. I do think that he represents an era of Survivor that is not well aged. He was Jeff's favorite for a reason. I mean, he was like a masculine, straight white dude that had like hero qualities, and people liked him in comparison to the rest of the Australian Outback cast because the rest of them were kind of abrasive. But we come to learn that Colby isn't the most perfect, well-rounded person, but I think that is a good thing, and I think that putting more people like that on the show is important. Stephanie LaGrossa. Stephanie honestly is such a great player and I think is very fun to watch. I do think her presence on the Traitors helped her get back on to Survivor as well as Cirie, but I do see it as sort of a double standard because Carolyn was not able to get back on this season for the same reason of being on the Traitors. So I really don't understand Jeff's reasoning for not having someone like Carolyn back onto Survivor 50 because of being on the Traitors, but oh well. Ozzy Lust. If Ozzy plays the same game that he always does in every season that he plays, this will be a bad pick for the season. But if Ozzy somehow comes back and plays a game that we've never seen him play before, that we didn't expect to see him play, then I think this was a good call. I do think there has been enough time passed where it's like, what's he really up to? I mean, especially with his career. If you know, you know. I think that'll be an interesting addition in his story if they even decide to include it. But let's see Ozzy bad at challenges. Let's see Ozzy being humble for once. I don't know, just something different would be nice. Cirie Fields. Cirie is someone that I am happy about. I'm always happy to see Cirie. I do think that her getting screwed over on Game Changers does warrant a return for her. I honestly can't imagine how furious I would be watching Advantage Get-In by the time it happened, because Cirie was very close to winning the game, and of course all these advantages come into play. Oh no, oops, all advantages. Cirie absolutely deserves another shot at this game, and I don't know if she can win, but I think she will make great television, and that's what matters. Similar to Cirie, Coach is always a yes for me. I think this will be the most interesting version of Coach that we see yet, because so much time has passed since he has played. It was interesting to see him be so good in South Pacific. I really just want to see Coach be a little nutball with all these new era players, honestly. I'm ready for Coach to create a cult with the new era players. I'm ready for him to start prayer circles before every challenge and hug everyone before they leave. I'm so down for that. I don't know, is it crazy to say that he could be like my sleeper winner pick? So instead of picking any of these wonderful players from the 20s, we skip all the way to season 32 with Aubrey Bracco. I don't really like care about Aubrey anymore. I know she's a great person and she played pretty hard her first time around, but she's just not someone that I'm like excited to see back at all. I feel like her story is over, and her 3 times on the show, it just got worse and worse for her. I don't really know like what else she can do. Chrissy Hoffbeck. Chrissy is a pretty fun pick. I think it's kind of obvious to bring her back. I think she's one of those people that's like, you have to bring Chrissy back. She was hardcore screwed over by the fire-making twist, and she probably could have won that season if it wasn't for that. And she just has a pretty interesting arc in Heroes versus Healers versus Hustlers. I just think her archetype is very interesting as well. Not a lot of moms that go onto the show really get this villain edit that we see often, and I think it's really cool to see her really lean into that, and I hope she does for season 50 as well. Christian Hubicki. I mean, it's Christian. Do I even need to say Anything else? Angelina Keeley. This is the best pick that they could have done for Survivor 50. Not only am I excited for Angelina, I am stoked for Angelina. She's one of the best examples of someone that is just completely unself-aware and completely sincere in everything she does. We really haven't seen her type of self-awareness in the show before and since. Whenever she's on screen, it kind of feels like you're watching The Office because of how cringy and awkward she makes situations, and I think that is such a welcome addition to the show and especially this cast. But things have changed. I mean, she's a mom now. She has a very successful business from what I hear, and I think that honestly this is going to be interesting to see how different she is compared to David vs. Goliath. I am excited for Mike. However, I am a little hesitant to be excited as well because Mike White is like such close friends with Jeff Probst. I really could care less that he's like rich and famous from the White Lotus. I actually think that's an interesting aspect to him, especially going into season 50. But I do think that him being friends with Jeff is something I'm just always a little wary about. I don't really think that Jeff's best friends should be on the show, especially with how production can really change the game for people. I am curious though to see what the conversations around him will be like as the season goes on. He's kind of a wild card for me. Like, I don't know if he'll be voted out very early or voted out never and win. I have no idea. Rick Devens. Weirdly enough, I am not excited for Rick at all. I don't know why. He was, in fact, in my Survivor 50 Dreamcast picks or whatever, that video I made that I was talking about. Rick might need a second chance at the game. For me, he's not someone that I'm just like rooting for at all, and I don't know why. I don't know if it's because of his like newscaster persona. I don't know if it's because he just like is just popular because he found so many idols. I have no idea. He kind of feels like the weird middle child of this season because he was in season 38, and that's just like a weird middle ground transition for the show. I don't know. Is it because he's buddies with Jeff and that's why I'm upset? I don't know. Maybe a little bit. I would have rather have seen Dom Abate out there other than Rick, though. I think Dom would have kind of meshed with this cast a little better and made more sense. Jonathan Young. Emily is kind of interesting because not only did I feel like her arc finish in the season that she was in, season 45, but I feel like it finished within like 3 episodes. She went from being kind of boorish to being very likable by the fans and by the rest of the people on her tribe. I also feel like with the next person we're going to talk about, Dee, I feel like Kyle would have been a better pick because Emily and Kyle do have this relationship that really helped Emily's story across the season. So I don't know, I really hope that Emily like leans more into this like villain persona that she started out on the show as, because I feel like that's the more fun version of her. Dee Valladares. What happened to no winners, Jeff? Why the fuck is Dee on this season if you didn't want any winners on it? Dee is cooked, man. Dee is so done for. I mean, she has the reputation as the best new era winner. And not only that, she won by having a very dominant alliance all the way there and basically controlled the entire post-merge. I think that she would only be successful if her tribe won almost every challenge in the pre-merge and she somehow remained safe for a while post-merge. But is Dee going to be like our third 2-time winner? I don't think so. I don't really see it happening, especially because there's only 2 winners on this very large cast. And I think the whole notion of having no winners as declared by Jeff and then going and putting Dee and Kyle on this season is a little hypocritical. If you're going to have Dee on this season, why not have someone like Natalie White again, or have someone like Chris Underwood? People that feel like they have more story to tell, that feel like they might have some redemption to be had. What about Earl? What about Vesepia or Todd or Bob Q? This dude is the most obvious like pick for Survivor 50. I mean, I think everyone just knew he was going to be on the cast. I really can't deny Q's ability to even make the viewer question what is real and what is not. His appeal is very similar to Coach and Angelina, where he just has this sincerity with everything he does and almost zero self-awareness. His journey on 46 is very fun to watch because he's not really like a villain in a sense that he's like hurting anyone. He's kind kind of just like doing it to himself, and he just basically loses his mind at a certain point. I think everyone's going to perceive Q as the same way they perceive Coach and Angelina, as just complete chaos agent, and I feel like Q honestly might have a good shot of going decently far. I hope this fearless player can last longer than a fortnight. Wow, I am actually surprised they got Tiffany back. I'm mostly surprised she was asked by production to come back. I feel like there might have been some more obvious picks from the new era, but I feel like Tiffany, for me, is a very welcome addition. Honestly, she's someone I can absolutely see winning this season because of her placement and because she doesn't have as much of a reputation as the rest of the people on this cast. And I think her going home with an idol in her pocket the last time we saw her will also lower her threat level quite a bit. So I really feel like she won't have a target on her back for much of the game. As the sole representative of Survivor 47, we have Genevieve Mushaluk. She's genuinely one of the more compelling people from the new era for sure, and I think she has the most potential to grow. And I really do feel like the producers must see something in her to bring her back for 50. But I do feel like her edit in 47 was really weird, and it wasn't like praiseworthy. I just feel like she at a certain point she was like in contention to win until Operation Italy. People compare her to Parvati. I wouldn't really give her that kind of power just yet, but we'll see how she does. This might be a hot take, but out of all of the people from Survivor 48, I am most excited for Joe. I didn't really particularly like Joe during the running of season 48, but I do feel like because of this cast, Joe is going to have to play harder, less safe, and more cutthroat. I know Joe wanted to represent for his kids the honest gameplay that he played and a more like trustworthy alliance building type of game, but I really think that there's something in Joe that's going to make him want to win the game and play a little dirtier. I think it would also be potentially fun to see Joe be a follower and not a leader. I guess we'll see. Camilla Carthagesu. Oh, she might actually have a decent shot. Kyle Frazier. Oh, never mind. I think the inclusion of Camilla would have been fine without Kyle, because I think Kyle puts a target on both of their backs, especially because by the time they go out there, they will have just finished watching Survivor 48. I know that a lot of people are not very happy seeing so many 48 people on this season, and I'm not either. I think just Joe would have been enough for me, but yeah, no, I'm not very excited for Kyle, and I don't think he has a great chance of going very far. I don't know why they included such a recent winner. Whew, that was a lot to get through. A lot of people might agree with some of my instant takes on the cast. I feel like there was nothing really individually wrong with any of these casting decisions. I do feel like just the collection of people is what makes me so upset about the cast. I think for one, having a bunch of new era players is a little strange and not exactly what anyone wanted. Like, all these new era people were great on the season they were on, but I just feel like it's going to be hard for them to mesh with this just giant cast of old, middle, and new era people. And with all the new era people, I mean, Jeff declared that season 50 was going to be sort of a celebration of the 25 seasons the show has been on the air. And even if he didn't say that, right, you would assume that the 50th season of a show and the 25th anniversary of a show would warrant a sort of celebration and maybe an homage to the past players that have made it. Instead, we got what feels something that's more like a mid-tier all-star season akin to Game Changers. And I think the real issue with Survivor 50 is that we don't have enough returning player seasons. I mean, we went 9 seasons without one, and the one before this one was Winners at War, which were people that have already won. And Winners at War, in my opinion, was a bit of a dud season. It had a really bad boot order. And the season before Winners at War with an all-returnee cast was Game Changers, and we all know how that went. Like, I really feel like Game Changers is similar to 50 in a lot of ways, because I've seen people compare the cast of this season and Game Changers, and it's almost the same thought process, where it's like there's a lot of like old school players mixed with like more recent players, and they're all just players that Jeff wanted to see play again. It really does feel like it's been a while since we've had a good returnee season. And since I'm a newer fan, I'm really hoping that this season is good because, you know, this should be exciting, except it wasn't really. And I think with the new era, you know, I have been losing hope because 48 was just really hard to get through from start to finish. I don't really have faith in Jeff and production, but I am putting all my faith into the players that are out there on the island right now to give us a great season of television. It's been a really crazy couple weeks for Survivor fans, so I hope everyone's mental health is doing okay. Mine sure is slipping, and every day it gets darker and darker, and I'm spiraling out of control. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what some of your takes on Survivor 50 are, and if you think the season's going to be good, what you think of the cast, the individual people, the people as a group, whatever you'd want to talk about. I will read it. I will respond. Thank you so much. This is a knife, by the way.